Hey, what's up guys? Christian here. We are doing a customer rebuild on LV2. This belongs to a local guy, a good friend of mine, Damien. Actually the gun totally works. I'm just doing a full rebuild because we're gonna be here. This gun actually had a very odd issue and I'm not sure how it happened. I don't know if you can see the micro switch. It is totally cracked. So, quite interesting issue that we got here, but we're gonna get it handled. Forgot my ring pick. All right, so we're going to do a full teardown on this. I'll probably do this video in 2 or 3 segments. We'll probably do full disassembly, down to the board and everything. Then I'll clean everything, remove the O-rings, make a video rebuilding it, and then I'll make a video putting it back together, just to make life easy. Since I'm a bad planner, forgetting tools here. Okay, there we go. I think we got everything now. I really do think as long as you have an O-ring pick, a screwdriver for the board, and standard Allen keys, you should be good. So go ahead and take off our grips here without me knocking off the bipod. All right, and this marker's been pretty used and abused. Like I said, she's still kicking. It's just that micro switch. I think it was tightened down too far, and as you can see, the trigger kind of maxes it out. So I think it was a combination of that, so it cracked on the bottom. And the problem that's causing is it doesn't engage every trigger pull. Yeah, see, it's not engaging at all at the moment. But yeah, I do have some new micro switches. Went ahead and ordered them, $5 part. So, all right, let's go ahead and break this down. Take the bolt out. Pretty filthy. I don't know, these egos are pretty impressive with how much can be wrong with them and them still work. You know, I use older guns. They're still reliable if you know what you're doing, but I don't know, these new egos and geos are pretty impressive. I have seen some pretty fucked up paintball guns still work. So, all right, we'll take our ram cap off, and then we will gently stick an Allen key in and pop the ram out. Looks like he's running the light one in there, so I believe that's stock. Not 100% sure. What do you guys think of the LV2? I hate the LV2. I'm more of an older ego fan. I don't know if you can see the size difference here. They're pretty monstrous monsters, you know. Even if you compare it to like an 11, right? It's just way bigger marker. And I don't like the shot all that much. They're a little too smooth. But all right, so we got the bolt taken out, ram cap, ram. We will go ahead and take the eye covers off. These are pretty filthy as well. Yeah, this thing's gonna need a bath, but that's fine. It is so, I can't believe even like the eyes, like those things still work. Pretty darn impressive. Probably throw a new battery in there too. All right, now we will take out our LPR and HPR. I'm not saying this is the correct way to take everything apart. I'm just going kind of piece by piece here, seeing what I want to do. So for this little red clip here should just pull out. If you, I believe you push down, I think you push down the LPR. And that clip pulls right off. I have seen people have issues with these, where they kind of bend out of spec. I've never seen it personally. I think it was like an early LV2 issue. Now we will pull this out. I believe this is our LPR. And I did forget a tool. Need some needle nose pliers. And we got to get our piston. You can see it kind of sitting in there. Just very gently grab onto the edge and pull it out. I mean, I'm barely squeezing on it. You don't want to ruin the face there, because that is what interfaces with the reg seat. And if you mess up the reg seat face or this face, you'll either have inconsistencies or no regulation at all. So, all right, LPR, same story for the HPR. There's your body, and then you can go in and grab it. There we go. Like I said, just do it gently. And it's hard to mess up these two. Actually, the bodies are a different size. So in order to get this actually pushed in there is almost impossible. And then with the pistons, you can see the HPR is about double the size. Yeah, and you can just feel it just doesn't click in. So yeah. HPR, you know, smaller body, bigger piston. But color coded, so they're good. All right, we will go ahead and take off the Pops ASA. I need to dig out some of this grime in here. Let's see. Should be at 5:30 seconds. All right. I know his buddy kind of keeps this thing running, but I don't think it's ever had a full service before, so I'm not shocked by like all the grime and stuff. But I think he's gonna be real happy when he gets it back. It's gonna look like a brand new LV2. All right, so you take off those two screws. There's your Pops assembly. Try not to lose this little seal. They're easily replaceable. They should be in your little parts kit. Let me see what I got. I forget what this goes to, but you should have a few of those seals, and there is actually a filter in there. Try not to lose the filter. The gun will still function without it, obviously. It's more of a safety precaution. Might as well. I guess we'll go ahead and take this reg body off here. That should be a 1/8 Allen key. All right. There's no reason a screw should ever be that tight, but that's fine. All right. And don't go yanking on this yet. There is one more screw down there. And that is a 5/32 Allen key. There we go. And now it should, oh no, we got the LPR hose obviously. So I have to take the frame off. That is a specialty screw. Try not to lose that. And this also locks in your front plug there. So I guess since we're here, we can just take the front plug off. So there's your front plug and your poppet. All right. We will take off the frame. All right. These should be the same size screws. So, one thing that's kind of nice, the Regulassembly small screw, this screw, and the back screw, they're all going to be the same size. So, all right, now we are going to pull this frame off here. Make sure you unseat your eyes. And then, let's see. We're going to locate our solenoid wires here. Alright, so it's going to be the top one right there. Just gently pull and pop right out. Definitely want to be careful with those wires. They're easily fixable, but it is a $160 solenoid. So, all right, then we got our eyes here. That is going to be the bottom one. Go ahead and unplug those. And then there is our micro switch that's giving us issues. So we're going to take a really small screwdriver, unscrew those. All right, yeah, and you can see that crack a little bit better. I mean, that thing, oh, there you go. Yeah, was not far from breaking, so not sure what happened with it, but glad we got some replacements. All right, then we just got our board there. Honestly, there's no reason to take it apart further than this. But if you wanted to, there's 2 screws on this little sister board for the battery, and then that'll pull out. And then these should just push out the side. But like I said, no real reason to. We are gonna take the trigger off though, just because it's quite dirty. That is going to be a 5/64, I believe. Let me see. Sorry, tripod makes it a little bit awkward. Okay, 5/64. Just these 2 screws here. If you've taken apart pretty much any Ego from like the 8 and on, these are pretty familiar, just in general. So there's your spring assembly there, and then there's one more screw right here. But yeah, outside of kind of how the reg setup is, everything's pretty familiar. So if you've done an Ego in the past, this shouldn't be all that bad. All right, and we got our little pin and the trigger pulls right out. Yeah, I just wanted to clean up that bearing a little bit. All right, so we got our frame completely done outside of the board. There's just, like I said, not a huge reason to do it. All right, we'll go back to our battery here. I mean, our body here. As you can see, we're connected by that hose there. I'm gonna pull it off from this side. Gently. I just grab right here and kind of yank on it. I have replacement hose. If you don't, I'd just be really careful, because if you're not gentle with it, you can damage some things. And this is a separate piece here. I believe it goes, yeah, in this direction here, and that interfaces with the frame. So it's kind of like a little transfer block, kind of nice. But this is a separate piece, so try not to lose that. In this body here, you have a gasket and a plug. Again, you will have spares in your kit. If not, I think they're literally like a couple dollars on Planet Eclipse. All right, we'll go ahead and take the manifold off just to do it. Since we're here, every one of these screws is on like ridiculously hard. All right, there's your solenoid. Careful, there is a gasket in there. And there is your solenoid manifold. Again, another proprietary seal, so just be careful with those. All right, and then now all that's left in this ego is getting the valve out, which is pretty easy. We are also going to take out the little lever assembly. If you don't know what makes the LVs so much smoother than prior egos, is the lever system on the valve. So pretty neat. It only goes in one direction, so when I pull it out here, I'll show you the correct way. If you put it the other way, your marker will not fire. Another thing that's nice though, like this is going to use the same black screws that the solenoid manifold does. So they use a lot of the same screws, so it's usually not a problem if you forget where you got one or the other. All right. Sorry about the sniffles. It is Florida, and it's been like 50 degrees the past 2 weeks, and my body's not made for it. So, all right. So this was the direction I pulled it out. So this is the way your lever should go, and you can kind of tell. So basically, rounded goes towards the valve, and the little almost scythe shape goes towards the ram. So basically the ram hits this and then opens the valve. So there's our lever, and then all we got to do now is unscrew here. Should be a 1/8 Allen key. right. And then normally you should be able to just kind of pop it out like that, but I'm going to take the ball end of an Allen key and I just softly pressed it in, and there's your valve. So let me kind of lay these out in the way that we took it apart here. Let me move this down. Sorry, trying out a new camera setup here. A little different than I'm used to. All right, so there's kind of a rough layout of where everything came from. Obviously, ASA on the bottom. I'm gonna get all this stuff cleaned up, and then I will get to the rebuild section. So.